Well, I heard this story when I first came here about how Jim Foster used to have iconic press conferences, and he said, "We won." And tonight, I feel like that's the biggest way to sum it up. I feel like you see the pregame jitters. We came out of the game and we let their pressure kind of dictate what we're doing. And offensively, we've got to be able to dictate where we're going and the cuts we're making and the reads we're making. And so credit to Shorter. I thought they came out and they played really hard. I also feel like as far as coming out and having a lot of players who had not logged game minutes, Izzy being one of those, we had a lot of freshmen that stepped up tonight. We had a lot of roster changes and dealing with that, but having some players step up in big moments and make some big plays, I was very proud of that. I think we were also able to showcase, even though offensively we were off and we weren't able to connect on a lot of different reads and a lot of different looks that we wanted, defensively we were solid. And I feel like outside of that first quarter, we were really able to showcase what our defense is going to look like and how defense is going to be our calling card throughout the season. And as we always hang our hat on, championship teams are fueled by defense. And so to be able to, come out and be down after the first quarter and come out and give them only 3 points in the second quarter, really, really happy at the adjustments that we made and how our players responded to kind of being under pressure. I think that our team is able to see what those pressure situations look like now, and I'm hoping that prepares us for some bigger games down the stretch.
Go with questions for Caia and Izzy.
Caia, just to get the first one going here, obviously, it was a little bit of a rough start, kind of rough going throughout the game, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. How nice is it to get the first one under your belt?
I think it's a great feeling right now to know that we came out and we stayed together. Like Coach D said, there's been a lot that we've been trying to figure out, and we've been working all preseason, all summer for games to play, to win, to just be with each other. And so I think for us to play the way that we did, and we did start out rough and all our nerves were there for sure, but to see the way that our team stood together and the way that we packed around each other from the bench to those on the court, I couldn't be prouder of any of us right now.
Caia, you were in that moment last year as a freshman trying to figure things out when you got on the court. So seeing Izzy get in the second quarter, have some moments, have some minutes, hit some shots. What was the conversation with her to kind of help her get some nerves out of the way and just be her best in the second half?
Honestly, in the heat of the moment, I didn't even have time to talk to Izzy. Izzy went out there and Izzy knew what she needed to do, and Coach has been teaching all of us in what ways that we can help the team. And Izzy knew her role today. Every one of our teammates knew her role. So to see her go out there and to play with as much confidence as she did, that is, I can't even express how proud of her I am and how bright I see her future.
Izzy, to hit that, was it an and 1-3 there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, come on, man. That's gotta feel good. And when that went in, did you pull yourself loose up a bit and kind of get in the moment and be like, okay, we're just playing basketball here?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was just waiting the whole time for that first shot to get those nerves to kind of quiet down. After that, I just started shooting it.
Lit it up. Did you scream a little bit when you hit the
She
envelope?
did. She was on the floor yelling.
Did noise come out when you
blacked out,
screamed?
yeah.
Okay.
And Izzy, going forward here, obviously, it's game one. It's November 4th. It's a long season ahead. How eager are you guys to? Obviously, you're going to enjoy this one tonight, but how eager are you guys to get back to work, knowing that Thursday is going to be a lot tougher with Tennessee Tech coming to town, and it's a cycle of just getting into the season.
Yeah, I think very eager. I mean, we have a lot of girls that can just step up any given night. I mean, tonight it was me, it was a couple of other freshmen, but any night somebody can just go off and have the game of their life.
And Caia, obviously, there's going to be some growing pains here with a new coach, a new staff. But the success you girls had tonight, do you feel the success you have? You see how it works. You excited to kind of continue to put it all together, see how it works, and potentially, continue to, obviously, be more successful throughout the season.
I personally think there's growing pains with any team, whether it's returning the whole team and adding freshmen, adding new coaches or anything. There's growing pains in all of it. I think what we strive on right now is the fact that we have each other's backs And our coaches have prepared us for moments like we were in today. Our coaches have prepared us to start off not as we wanted, but to continue to fight through that and to continue to rely on each other when things get hard. Because at the end of the day, that's all we have. So honestly, I can see the growth that we're going to make, and I can see how much closer we're going to get. And I think that is a scary sight for us this whole year, for anyone in front of us.
Coach, were you nervous before this game started?
Yep, I was.
I'm going to pause real quick. Any other questions for the student athletes first? All right, the girls, you are excused, and then we'll get ready for questions for the
Have fun.
Yep. Yeah, I think one of the things that we preach to our players is it's normal to be nervous because it means you care. You know, you have your heart's pumping, your adrenaline's going. That means that what you're about to do means a lot to you. So going into this game, this program means a lot to me. This fan base, this community means a lot to me. And coming out and representing Chattanooga and UTC the right way meant a lot to me. And so coming into that game, I had some nerves. I do think that one thing that helps with having those nerves is having trust. And I had a lot of trust in our players. I know that we were hit with some adversity this weekend right before the start of the season, but we've been talking to the girls the entire season of how we respond to adversity is going to dictate how the season goes. And to see them respond in the way that they did, to see our freshmen step up. I mean, Izzy had a plus 26 plus minus. That's fantastic, you know? And I just think that from a coach's standpoint, being able to have that trust in our players and then be able to have that trust in me is what's going to be able to fuel us as the season moves forward.
Just a few days ago, I think this T.R. Lewis girl had 20 points against UAB. To be able to measure her to 3 points before fouling out, I mean, just the job that your bigs did tonight.
Yeah, I think with that, you know, our defensive approach is, you know, their best players aren't going to beat us. And so going into the game, our game plan was very much revolving around Lewis. She's a fantastic player. I've played against her for 4 years now. And I feel like we were saying anybody else. Now, that hurt us in the first quarter. They were hitting threes. You know, we were kind of choking in and doubling in, and they were able to kick it out. But I do think that as far as defending to scout and being able to put our defensive game plan forward, we did a good job. Our offensive game plan still needs some work, but defensively, I was really proud of the effort that we had.
Coach, how eager are you to, obviously, I think that a lot of the mistakes, I think there's something flip that are just mental mistakes. Mm-hmm. How eager are you to go back and check out this film and get back to work? Because I imagine it's going to be, you'll beat out there against another team, I imagine it's very beneficial for you guys early.
Yeah, some of those mistakes I don't want to see ever again, but we'll watch them. I think that the biggest thing in this moment is allowing the players to learn. And when they're learning a new system, especially our system, which is very intricate, allowing them to make mistakes. Now, 20 turnovers is terrible, but when we think about them, I bet about 15 of those were self-inflicted. So we look at, okay, what read are we trying to make? What play are we trying to make? And being able to make those adjustments, she's not open, why? All those things are going to make us better basketball players moving forward. And so I feel like even though it was ugly, you know, we always talk about a win's a win, but to have 20 turnovers and to get a 17-point win, I was very proud about how we were able to respond. I think in the game, we were able to change our game plan by a lot of the stuff that we're seeing. And some of the adjustments that we were making from a coaching standpoint, I was proud that they were able to pick that up. Because as a coach, I'm still learning, you know, what kind of team do I have? Are we going to be able to take coaching? Are we going to be able to make adjustments? And being able to make adjustments on the fly, I think we did a fantastic job of that.
Carson Murphy was someone who come here on Tuesdays for the football team for the press conference. And it was almost, when we were coming over here, I think the first couple of weeks, and it was every single Tuesday, Carson was in there shooting at some point, putting shots up. Obviously, every basketball player works on their game, but you know, to physically see that, and then she comes out first game, it's 4 for 7 from beyond the arc, to do it in an actual game against another team. How proud are you of her growth and knowing that she's putting in those that extra work in the game?
there's no one more deserving of the success that she's about to have and the awards that she's about to have than Carson Murphy. I mean, she's somebody that is a self-starter. She's somebody that is self-made. And I learned that when I first got here. And she's somebody from a coaching standpoint, you want the team to do it for Carson. Like we want us to have a good year for players like Carson, for players like Seagren who have been here, who've put in the work, who deserve it more than anything. And I'm proud of her. She got a moment. You know, I think a lot of times last year, there was times where she's been so clutch for this program, but to be able to come out on a home opener and have a moment like that, have 16 points, also have some great takes to the basket. I just was so proud of her. And as I said, I think she's so deserving of that. But she's somebody that is a great example to our younger players. Come in, work hard, put your nose down, grind, and we can be that blue-collar program that gets it done at the end.
Is it a sense of relief or satisfaction maybe that you just got the first win here in the first game?
Relief for sure. I think that I'm going to tell my team, and I'll tell y'all, there was never a doubt. You know, I trust them. But I do think it's important in the growth and development to be able to get that first one. And maybe not from a coaching standpoint, but from a player standpoint, I talked about there's a lot of players who played minutes who haven't had a lot of game minutes in college. And for them to come in and be able to get that first one under their belt, they're able to breathe a sigh of relief. But then also they're able to see, okay, I can do it. You know, for Izzy to come in and have the game that she had, okay, I can do it. You know, I thought Caia Davis came in and played some great minutes. You know, somebody who hadn't been given the minutes previously. Okay, she can come in and do it. Carson Murphy, she can be a go-to player for us. And so those are things where building that confidence brick by brick, this was just that first brick of that foundation we're trying to build before we get ramped up into conference.
And you mentioned adversity over the weekend. What is some of that stuff that you guys faced, if you could share?
Our lineup doesn't look the same that we thought it was going to look like. We don't have everybody healthy that we thought we were going to have healthy. So we're down a couple starters. And for our freshmen to step up in the manner that they did and not blink, I mean, Izzy to get a 4-point play and not blink, that was fantastic. So couldn't be prouder of the group.